Hello everybody, Molly here. How are y'all doing? Well, today is the spring equinox and it is time for flowers. I live down here in southwest Louisiana and the flowers are blooming everywhere. It is just glorious outside. So it put me in the mood to get busy stamping and play with some pretty flower things. Now, if y'all know anything about old Stampin' Up, you know Celebration is ending in just a couple of weeks. If you don't know what Celebration is, it's when with every $50 purchase in merchandise from Stampin' Up, you can pick out a free item from their little selection of free items. Fabulous things. So, I wanted to share with y'all what I was playing with today and maybe tempt you into creating some flowers and things of your own. I'm used for what I played with this week. This is a set that has been out for a while, and I love it. If you don't already have it, you may want to consider getting it. It's the Daisy Delight bundle, and the bundle comes with the stamp and the punch, and it's a great deal. And if you don't need anything else, this punch right here is worth its weight in gold. I have, as you can tell from the wear and tear on this thing, I have used this thing by just for the thousands. Anyway, so I use this bundle. And you can see the pretty artwork that comes with that and the perfect little thank you there and all. And then the papers that I use, we'll talk about this in a minute, are, of course, the Designer Series paper. I had finally got down to where I just had 1 or 2 sheets left from all that I bought last year. And, of course, I had to rebuy it because it's turned out to be some of my favorites in these sunny days. Going from spring into summer, this is just going to be the perfect paper to use. So, let me show you the backs. See how pretty it's got, kind of like some watercolor looks on the back and all. So those are the papers that I used for the cards that I made today. Now what this little piece of paper was just to remind you, if you go to my Stampin' Up store and with any $60 purchase, I will buy you a full-size ink pad and ship it to you in your choice of colors. Now once you make the purchase, you would have to email me, which I've got my email on there, the color choice that you'd like, or message me through Stampin' Up. I'll order that and then mail it on to you. And I'm going to put a little extra surprise in the package for you. So the host code for the month of March 2018 is JBNKJW9N. So with any $60 purchase. Now remember, with Stampin' Up, for every $50 purchase in merchandise, you'd get a free item. So you'd get this from me, and then you can pick out something free from Stampin' Up. Okay, so let me get started with what I showed you. I'm wanting to show you cards, but I want to show you this darling little storage box that I made, and this is not my creation. I saw this online from a fabulous crafter named MayMay. She has a blog and a lot of videos. It's MayMay Made It, and on my newsletter I will have the link to her video, and she gives you all the measurements and how to make this box. It's darling. But what it is, now I lined the inside. She didn't line the inside of hers. But I made it out. It's a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock to make this box. It fits the A2 card sizes. Darling. She leaves this little flap so when it's on your shelf, you can pull that in and out. And she had 17 cards in her. Wait a minute, I'm throwing the cards around. This is a dozen. This is a dozen cards in envelopes, and you can see how there would still be room to get more. So just imagine if you had them on your shelf with hello, thank you, best wishes, happy birthday. Probably need a bunch of those. Just a great little thing. Or tie a bow around it and call it a present. But anyway, so that's one thing I wanted to share with you. I love this box. And again, I will have the link below to MayMay's video. And then on my newsletter, I'll have the link to it as well. I think you'd really enjoy making some of these. So it's 1 sheet of cardstock. I used some heavy cardstock underneath and then covered it with the pattern paper. Okay, so here's some of the cards that I made with the Delightful Daisy, or the Daisy Delight set. And one of the things I wanted to show you, I'm so sorry I'm not making this card on camera, but this is one of the designer papers, and you can see it's got these beautiful, here it is again, this beautiful watercolor daisy look in the Calypso Coral and the Tranquil Tide, Pool Party, and some of the little bit of yellow and all. Well, I punched the daisies out of watercolor paper. And yes, that punch goes through this heavier watercolor paper. And then I took those inks, and I squeezed the pad to where the ink color's in the top of the lid, just used some water brushes, and just washed some color onto the petals. And I love how they came out. So that's how I made this daisy. These leaves here were stamped, of course with the stamp set. And just as a hint, the way I find it easier, instead of stamping the background first and then the outline on top, I always stamp my outline first. So you can see where I stamped a bunch of those. And then I stamp my background, the lighter shade, on top of it. It's much easier for my eyes to see and for me to get alignment. When I do it the other way around, I have trouble getting aligned perfectly. So that's the leaves. And then I just hand, fussy cut those out. But I love how this came out. Now you can see where my thumb is. I hope you can. This layer on the front is actually a piece of vellum. And it's, the clear vellum. But I used some Pool Party ink. I don't know if it's even showing up on here or not. But I just kind of sponged some Pool Party ink on the back of that vellum. Heat dried it with a heat gun, embossing gun. And it dried. And I love how it just adds a soft little background. So it's not a, white on white thing. It's kind of a cloud look. So I love how this card came out. Just a quick hello. This card, I just used the pattern paper. And again, stamped the thank you with Calypso Coral. And there is another one of those watercolor flowers. So I love how that came out. Now on the inside of this one, I got a little crazy. I stamped the daisy. Used the stamp. This is a separate layer here. And I used it with the Peekaboo Peach, actually, ink. And I spritzed my stamp after I put it on the stamp pad. And then I stamped the ink. Then I colored in the, the little petals. And then I sponged the corner. Well, it was kind of looking all muddy and everything and messy there. So I came back with a white chalk pen that I had in my stash. And I just kind of added some white back to it. And I love how that came out, with that same kind of soft watercolor look. Or in my mind, anyway, it's the same kind of watercolor look. So that's the second one. And, of course, it coordinates with the cute box. Well, then, of course, I had to go on Pinterest. That's what started this whole nonsense. I was typing and Stampin' Up! And looking for, some spring inspiration. And came across these darling cards. And I apologize, I don't know who all had them. But if you go on Pinterest and type in Stampin' Up! Daisy Delight, you're going to find all kind of gorgeous cards. So some of these are really close. Where I cased the card and made it pretty close. Just love how cheery these came out. Here's another one. Now this uses a different stamp set. That is, if you don't have this stamp set, it's one of my all-time favorites. And then again, here's the, where I punched and stamped those. And then this is a little piece of tape I had in my, printed tape I had in my stash. And an old button and a piece of twine. So I like how that card came out. This one is almost a near copy of one that was on Pinterest from a talented artist. And this is a tag from one of the Christmas sets I cut. And then I stamped these little background flowers. They're in the stamp set. And they were fun. That was fun to add those different colors and things. So I stamped that background, stamped these, and then cut them out so I could pop them up. And I love how this card came out. So it's just, beautiful friend. Hello. Okay, another card I cased. She actually stamped with navy in the background using the brush strokes stripe stamp. That's a great value. It's just perfect for almost every holiday and summer and everything. It's just a great stamp to have. But I stamped it with a lemon lime twist and used the, melon mambo flower colors on there. And I love how that came out. These were clear stones, and I just used my alcohol ink pens and colored them. Okay, and then in the box, I just filled up the rest of the box with some thank you cards and things that I had and the envelopes to show you how full you can get that box. So that is my salute to spring. Just to remind you that celebration is coming to an end. Take advantage and get some beautiful free things. And make yourself some, have fun stamping some wildflowers. If you're like me, I am not going to go plant flowers outside. Mother Nature takes care of that for me with the ones I planted years ago, so I'm lucky there. But we are going to look at the bluebonnets, hopefully, this week in Texas, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, once again, if you spend $60 or more from my Stampin' Up! Store, boy, that's a rhyme, I will send you a full-size ink pad and your choice of colors. You will have to message me or email me your color choice, but you must use the host code JBNKJW9N to get that special. And then, of course, the $60 purchase is over the $50, so you'd be able to pick out a free item from Stampin' Up! If you go over 100, you can pick out 2 items or 1 at 100. You keep going, keep going. But anyway, just want to let you know about my March specials. and remind you that celebration is coming to an end, and there are some incredible items you're going to want to take advantage of. And if you already own the Daisy Bundle, pull it out and have fun with these gorgeous spring days. And if you don't, it's a great investment for your stash. Okay, happy spring to everyone. I'm going to be making lots and lots more flower cards and all. So y'all have a great day. Enjoyed visiting with you. Bye-bye.